whenever y'all ready.
Bonnette, son. Well, hello and welcome to Come and Pick It. I'm your host, Anthony Bonnette, and today we've got two very special guests joining us on the show. Eddie Ortego, who's a pretty talented dobro player, and I don't know why I said pretty talented, but he's way better than that. And Lisa Abrams, who is one of my favorite singers and a really good rhythm guitar player and songwriter, I guess. Is that true? Mm-hmm. So today they're going to be performing some of the songs they do in live sets and in venues around East Texas and beyond. And we're going to tell some stories about those songs and some stories about our instruments. So we're super glad to have y'all. And
we're glad to be here.
Yeah.
Good. So Eddie, where did we first meet? Do you remember?
I believe it was 2 years ago at Sandyland Bluegrass Park.
That sounds right. In Nacogdoches.
Nacogdoches, yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun little park.
Yeah, we were doing a bluegrass festival there. I was there with the Sabine River Band, I believe, at the time, and I saw you and Holly there, flying around your drone around. Yeah, yeah.
That'll leave an impression on you.
Yeah, it was neat.
So when did I meet? I didn't meet you then. I don't think you were hanging around.
I think
at
I
that
met
point.
you last year, probably at the same festival. I think
Sandyland
it was
again?
Sandyland, yeah.
That might be true.
I think that's where I remember Holly and you walking around, and
Okay.
I remember that. I remember you being there.
And filming and stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
last year.
So, and you two have been playing together for a couple years, on and off?
Well, for about about a year.
About a year.
Yeah,
Really?
about a year.
You've got really good chemistry. But you've been playing a lot longer than that. When did you start playing that machine?
I've been playing dobro for 42 years plus a few months. But
42 years.
42 years.
How old are you?
I'll be 63 next month.
So you were
This
just a
month,
baby
actually.
when you got it.
Yeah, this month, really.
Really?
Yeah.
This month. Happy birthday.
The end
What
of
month?
this month.
At the
28th.
Oh, this is April Fool's Day today.
Ain't it? It's the 1st of April.
It's the 28th?
That's
That's my daddy's birthday.
Really?
April 20th. And my mama's mama, my maternal grandma. They had the same birthday.
Well, that's
April 28th.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
It's a
good
great day. Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So who taught you how to play that thing? And what made you want to start playing that?
Well, I'd say late 70s, 79, early 80. I had a friend that was learning to play dobro, and he saw that I was really interested. So he said, "Hey, man," he said, I know of a fella named Josh Graves that comes to Louisiana, and it's about 30 minutes from here. He said, "Would you like to go meet him?" I said, "Well, yeah." So I did. I met Uncle Josh at that time, and it just escalated from there. His playing really caught my ear. So, yeah.
He's a bluesy,
Oh, yeah.
hard driving player.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
And so I just kind of trailed him and spent time with him.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. Bluegrass is a pretty unique kind of experience because of how it's not local, but it's a small group of people that are spread out over the whole country. So when they come to town, they're just regular people that just happen to be really fantastic musicians.
Oh, yeah.
But they're not like star type personalities generally.
No,
they're
that's
people
true.
you can just talk to and would be glad to talk to you. And
Just down to earth.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty neat about bluegrass.
It is.
So did you play guitar before that?
I did.
You did.
Yeah, so it was a family deal. My parents both played, grandparents played. So
Really?
I started really young, at about 5 years old, I'm told. And so I played guitar and until the dobro grabbed a hold of me and I started playing that.
Well, I hadn't even ever seen you hold a regular guitar that you fret.
No, I rarely do anymore. It's primarily my instrument.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you're good at it.
Well, thank
Ain't
you.
no doubt.
Yeah, appreciate
What
it.
about you? How long have you been playing?
Guitar since I was in high school.
Now, were you like me where you like to sing and so you learned to play the guitar to sing with?
No, I did like to sing, but I never sang. I started out playing piano when I was about
Really?
probably about 10 years old. And then my dad played music. And so he wanted us all to learn, and he had a guitar in the house. So I just picked it up one day and started playing it. And then I had guitar lessons. And then I didn't start singing until a couple years after that.
Really?
Yeah. So in elementary school, the teacher would say, I hear somebody singing. And I would just lip sync. 'Cause it was like, there's no way I'm singing. That'll never happen. And then,
Right.
and then I started singing in high school, and then I never stopped. I
Really?
just loved to do it. I think I was just, shy. So I
Well,
didn't,
I can see that.
Once I did it once, and then I just did it all the time.
You seem pretty shy now, but like you've got a lot of confidence though when you're when you're singing.
I'm not really shy. I'm just quiet.
You're quiet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. That's what I am. I'm not shy. I'm just quiet. Holly said please in my ear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first song I guess I heard y'all do together, I guess it might have been at Sandyland, was Erase the Miles. And y'all are pretty, at least regionally, pretty kind of famous for doing that one.
Yeah.
So tell us something about that song.
Well, I started singing that one when I was in high school, maybe.
You did?
Somewhere, maybe early college, somewhere in there. It's been a long time. We had a family band, so I played with them. My brother played banjo. So we toured around.
What was the name of the?
What was the name of the band? The
Yeah.
Rawson Family. You would never know them. It was before the internet kind of existed. Anyways, but I used to do that with them, and then my late husband and I had a band called Timberidge, and I sang that with that a lot. We toured, not nationwide, but
Right.
on the eastern part of the United States.
Okay.
So I've been doing it for a long time. People like it, so they would always request it.
Oh yeah,
So
that's a great song, and it's like it was made for your singing too. It just fits right in there.
well, thank you.
And there's a pretty fair dobro playing in there
There's
too.
some good
There's room
dobro
for
playing in there.
some.
Yeah.
It's an incentive to her voice, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
And her guitar playing is her rhythm playing just leads me where I need to go. So
Yeah.
I just do what I do.
Yeah.
She does the driving pretty much. So.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by your rhythm guitar. So let's do that. Erase the Miles.
All right, Lisa K. Oh, that guitar sounds
Ain't that your guitar?
good.
Yeah, that's why he said that. It does sound good. It doesn't need the tune as nearly as off as mine.
It's louder than yours.
It is, yeah.
Would have been
He's
tuning.
got medium strings on
For a
there,
while.
which is
Oh, yeah, that's true. But they're 4 years old.
yeah. Okay,
All
ready?
right, yeah.
Do you miss me in Carolina? Well, I miss you in Tennessee. Do you wish I was there beside you? Well, I wish you were here with me. I know it's not the ideal situation. My heart's become a part of the band. It's a common hazard in the occupation. I love you just as much as I can. So I'll dream till I hear you love me, and I'll hope till I could hold you forever and somehow erase all the miles. Well, tomorrow it's Pennsylvania, then it's on to the city of sin. I'll hold to your love and to your memory until I can see you again. So I'll dream till I hear you love me, and I'll hope till I see your smile. Wish I could hold you forever and somehow erase all the miles. Wish I could hold you forever and somehow erase all the miles.
So this next song is "No One Will Ever Know." What led you to this song? I mean, what's special about this song to you?
Well, I think it's a Hank Williams song.
It is.
Yeah, Hank Williams
Sr.
songs are very emotional songs.
They are.
Yeah, and it talks about somebody who's brokenhearted for
Right.
whatever reason, and so anyway, my husband passed away. So
Well, yeah.
makes it
That would definitely make it hit a certain string in your heart.
anyway. So Eddie always picks songs like that. He'll be like, "You're having a sad day. Let's do a Hank Williams song."
Exactly. And let's play some real sweet, haunting
Yeah.
melody lines on that thing.
Oh, look,
He
the
does play-
tears that flow.
Yep.
Yeah.
We see the tears that come with those songs.
Yeah.
And and rightly said, she and I both lost.
Right.
And we've brought this together to express.
Yeah. And to help heal some of that, I'm sure.
And it has helped heal, and it's continuing to help heal. And so, yes, she's right. By my I picked these songs, and they were already emotional to me. But
Right.
for her to sing them,
Yeah.
it's really tough. So she's done really good with it,
Right.
and so we just carry on. It just gets better and better.
Well, there's definitely a sweetness when y'all play those, and I can tell that you pick them on purpose too. But there's definitely a sweetness there.
It is, yeah.
So let's do that. No one will ever know.
You okay, Lisa?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, you're making me cry.
Yeah,
sorry.
and she's got me swelling up.
Watering up. Do you need a tissue, Hollyson?
Maybe.
It's y'all sweet.
Oh, these tears have flown many a times. Her
He
and
does
I-
do that. He's like, "Oh, you're having a super sad day today. let me sing a song about a guy who died in a war." Oh, okay.
Right.
Today's a great day to do
and the
that.
tears just flow, and I'm thinking, oh, I feel so bad, but I'm crying inside too, and then we get past it,
That's
and it's
how-
helped us get past it. It's helped us
guarantee
heal
it
a lot,
does.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
And really, we're probably pretty lucky to have this music that has that connection to other people's pain that lets you kind of
Release.
release it a little bit and kind of dwell in it, but not in a super sad or negative way.
That's right.
In the kind of way that lets it still live on in you.
Yeah, sure. That's good.
Yeah, that's a neat thing to have.
Yeah. No Hank Williams this time.
Not one of those. No, thank you.
Where are you gonna play something?
He's in C, I guess.
I don't really know. What would you like to do? Those memories. Everything we do is connected. So how?
I need a capo for that one, so I don't know. My capo's in my case out there.
Okay, so we don't necessarily have to play nothing.
That one's a B flat. I don't really want to play without a capo.
What I like to do, and Lisa and I have talked about this, is, when you're setting up a list, you're not just setting up a list of songs to follow suit. You're setting up a list of chord dynamics to follow suit.
Yeah.
That creates and that develops your show, or if you have all the songs in the same chord, they all sound the same.
Yeah, no doubt. And
You really can't create. You can't create without
right.
something different.
Yeah,
in my
and whether you as a musician know it or not, like a B flat don't feel the same as a G.
No,
Even though the banjo's doing the same thing, and like you're playing with the capo,
it don't.
but it don't feel the same.
No, it don't.
No one will ever know. My heart is breaking, although a million teardrops start to flow. I'll cry myself to sleep and wake up smiling. I'll miss you, but no one will ever know. I'll tell them we grew tired of each other and realized our dreams could never be. I'll even make believe I never loved you, and no one will ever know the truth but me. No one will ever know how much I'm pining each time the past comes back to haunt me so. No one will ever see the tears I'm hiding. You've hurt me, but no one will ever know. I'll tell them I found true love with another, that I was glad the day you set me free. I'll even make believe I never loved you, and no one will ever know the truth but me. I'll tell them I found true love with another, that I was glad the day you set me free. I'll even make believe I never loved you, and no one will ever know the truth but me. And no one will ever know the truth but me.
Good. Holly said that sounded perfect.
Well, that's good.
Perfect is
Wasn't
good,
perfect.
except for that chord that Lisa missed.
I know that chord. I missed the chord in there.
I didn't even.
I felt like it kind of added.
I heard it.
felt
added
like it
flavor.
was.
I thought you were just
I felt like
flavoring
it
it up.
would sound like I was just being creative and
My,
throwing.
my. It's time. We got to do it again?
It
No, I
was
thought
wrong
it was
chord. It was
real
wrong.
good.
Okay.
It was a wrong chord in there.
Well, it just wasn't the way you'd been playing it before. But
It was the wrong.
it was
chord.
good.
It was the wrong chord.
I
What was
was-
happening
I
was
was
my
thinking-
glasses were doing
I didn't
this,
wanna quit.
and I was getting distracted by my glasses.
Look, there's something about her you need to know because you're facing her.
Mm-hmm.
If she does these nose wrinkles, it is not good, buddy. You just might as well stop.
And it started over.
And I bet you there's a nose
There's
wrinkle.
On
there
video?
probably,
Yeah.
there probably
I know.
is
Now,
two.
if you want to keep
There's
the
probably
nose
two
wrinkle,
in there.
Yeah.
we can keep it.
Yeah.
Because I have had some fun with that nose wrinkle. But she's got a nose wrinkle, buddy.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about Molly. So play a little bit of Molly. Where do y'all do that?
It would
An
do an A.
Where I can just hear it. Where I can. Oh, where have you gone now, Molly?
Yeah.
And you sing that.
Yeah, that's a Wyatt Rice
I love that song.
song. He did a version of that. And back in, I say the 70s, right? 70s, 80s.
Maybe.
Yeah. And so it's just kind of hit home with me, I think, you know. Lisa and I started doing it, and it worked out really well for us. And we continue to do it.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's got a really neat feel to it, and it's great for dobro.
It does. It has an arrangement that fits
Yeah.
dobro and guitar, banjo.
So when you're doing a song like that, a song like that is kind of, I guess, pretty easy to arrange when you're talking about just the two of you, because her rhythm is so spot on.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty easy was there a dobro break that you learned off an album, or you just
No, it's a dobro part that I developed.
you did?
Yeah, and
Well, I didn't think I'd ever heard it.
no, it's something that I've developed over the years to play, and it fits pretty much.
So you've kind of got your own style on the dobro, and
Yeah.
it's not really specific. And honestly, I know you said you were influenced a lot by Josh Graves,
and Mike Aldridge.
but that's who I would say if you had one that you lean toward, at least stylistically, like the songs you like
Yeah.
and the songs you, because I know I've heard you play a lot of Josh Graves kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so you can, but I think when you kind of sit down and play,
Yeah, well, with that said, that's true. Mike was my later influence. Yeah, and so he and I performed together annually for several years at the TSGA, which is Steel Guitar Convention in Texas. And I mean, I took advantage of his knowledge. You know,
Yeah.
so.
And he's a step more progressive than, and that probably, like you definitely have your own. Did you work to develop your own voice, or did it just kind of happen?
It developed
It did.
over the 42 years of playing. And, knowing those guys personally, befriending them and sitting and listening to them and really understanding why they play the way they play.
Right.
It's not just about putting picks on strings or a bar. It's about why they do it that way. Could lead a musician like myself and other people who have a good ear to develop a certain sound.
A sound that's your own sound.
That's right.
Understanding theirs helped you kind of
Develop sound.
your own.
Yeah,
Because that's what they did.
exactly. That's what they did. And so in line, I would say that Mike came after Josh, and then there was Jerry Douglas.
Yeah. Well, and I would say out of the three, you're probably the least Jerry Douglas, but
yeah.
he's pretty. I mean, he can do a lot of stuff
Oh, he
that
does.
Aldridge does and that Uncle Josh does. He has a lot of the same ability, but his ear leads him out into territory that not many bluegrass.
No, that's true.
People.
That's true, and they tend to feed off of each other as they develop, right?
Definitely.
So Gene Wooten was another influence that I did know, but he also had that Mike Aldridge, Josh Graves style.
Lisa, have you ever played? Do you play a lot of? You do a great job on the rhythm. I think I've already said that. Do you ever play any breaks?
I do sometimes.
You do?
It's not. I don't love to do it.
You don't want to?
I can. You know, I used to when I was younger. I used to do it a lot. But,
Really?
I don't know. For some reason, I kind of stopped. Well, sometimes we didn't need any. If you have a band with 5 people,
That's
you
true.
don't need.
Especially
don't need
with the
5
guitar.
pickers, So. Yeah, I just kind of got out of the habit of doing it, and I do it sometimes.
So you have
I can,
and that kind of stuff will go away a little bit on you if you don't keep it up too.
Yeah.
And playing the guitar, what a bluegrass unit needs out of a guitar is kind of that strong rhythm, which you're great at leading and passing and doing all the things that a guitar really needs to do in a bluegrass setting.
Yes, she is.
So.
Molly came and told me she was leaving, just like she told me many times. I guess I took it for granted, and that she'd always be mine. Where have you gone now, Molly? Why did you leave me here this way? Who is the one that stole your heart? I wish you were coming back to stay. They say absence makes the heart grow fonder. Fonder of you I grow every day. If only I had one more chance to see you. Oh, darling, this is what I'd say. Where have you gone now, Molly? Why did you leave me here this way? Who is the one that stole your heart? I wish you were coming back to stay. You were the one that broke my heart. Wish you were coming back to stay.
So this is another Rice song, or at least, I mean, he's the one I think about when I think of Rock, Salt, and Nails is Tony Rice's vocals. It's one of my favorites of his.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that. You got anything you want to say about it before we go?
Well, so Lisa and I have developed a version of that. to work with guitar and dobro because that's primarily how we've been playing.
Right.
And so it tends, the two techniques, hers and mine, tend to work together with it. Of course, there again, she leads me a lot with her rhythm. There ain't no doubt that she's one of the best, in my opinion, with a rhythm guitar, especially in bluegrass. Right? So, yeah. And so Rock, Salt, and Nails is just a song that I've been playing on and off for years and thought it would work with her and I.
Yeah, and this one was Rock, Salt, and Nails was kind of on that Tony Rice and that album with him and J.D. Crowe and Ricky Skaggs and those boys. Oh. J.D. Crowe and the New South.
New South.
Yeah, and it was on that album, and I don't know. I mean, it was pretty well received in the long term, but there were some traditionalists that didn't really care for these types of songs
at that time. That's right. They were kind of pushed back. You know,
they were.
And just.
But this one's kind of proved itself out over time as being, and bluegrass has really moved in that direction a lot.
In some cases, those contemporary songs that were developed and performed then by those guys are now considered tradition.
They're standards now. It's funny how that happened.
Yeah, Seldom Seen is another example. Go.
Shoot.
So
yeah. Rock, Salt, and Nails.
Now we do that in a little different than standard.
On the banks of the river.
It doesn't go to the 4 after the flat 7.
Where the mountains hang down, the wild birds all warble. I like that song. That's one of my favorite Tony Rice sung songs. I love to hear him sing.
I love to hear it too.
So you got a lot to live up to.
Oh,
I don't have to sing it, so.
Oh, he's singing it?
Yeah.
So that's
Well,
good.
I was gonna say you need to sing more. I love your singing voice.
He does have a good.
Thank you.
I didn't know you did much of it.
I do.
But I guess with that, like when that thing sings too,
it sings.
You don't have to sing as much.
True.
Because it's a singer.
Yeah. On the banks of the river, where the willows hang down, the wild birds all warble with a little morning sound. Down in the hollow, where the waters run cold, it was there I first listened to the lies that you told. Now I lie on my bed and I see your sweet face. The past I remember, time cannot erase. The letters you wrote me, it was written in shame. And I know that your conscience still echoes my name. Now the nights are so long, Lord, sorrow runs deep. Nothing is worse than a night without sleep. I walked out alone and I look at the sky, too empty to sing, too lonesome to cry. If the ladies were blackbirds and the ladies were thrushes, I'd lie there for hours in the chilly cold marshes. If the ladies were squirrels with high bushy tails, I'd fill up my shotgun with rock salt and nails.
That's real nice.
All right.
So, how'd y'all start doing it like that, where it goes to that C and just stays there? I don't know. The record.
We just started doing it.
That's good.
I said,
It's
why don't we
easy,
go
isn't
to a C? And he's like, it's not how the record goes. And I said, why don't we go to a C?
But I like it.
Yeah, she brought me to that, and it really gives it a little more emotion.
It
you know?
does. It adds a little bit right there.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about Tony Rice. Tony Rice before him was kind of Flat and Scruggs and the very beginnings of bluegrass. Bill Monroe and Jimmy Martin,
Yep.
who is my number one favorite. But what's this? I'd Rather Be Alone. I think we're going to do next.
Yes.
That's a good banjo song.
Mm-hmm.
I wish you had a good banjo player. Where you do I'd Rather Be Alone?
B.
In B.
B. You can take the banjo lick. Is that what you was going to say?
Well, I've done what I can with. I can't sound like a banjo for no way. But I try. Lisa Kay, if I can keep from getting that nose wrinkle, I do. I think I'm doing okay with it. So I go with
Oh,
it.
so the nose wrinkle happens when you mess up and when she messes up.
Oh, definitely.
It's 99%. Just
Definitely. No, she says that because
every
she's
now
not.
and then he does mess up. And
I heard it a while ago. That's the first time I had ever heard it.
Yeah.
That one little
Once in a
sour
blue
note.
moon.
All it
He'll
takes
do.
is one.
On that thing, it is.
A half step, flat or sharp, is wrong.
It's
It
wrong.
just kills.
I'd rather be alone and have you dream of me only than to have you say you're sorry that we are apart. I'd rather be alone and have you dream of me only than to be in your arms but never in your heart. I just received your letter. You asked me to come home. You say you're sorry that you went away. This is an old story. I've heard it all before. So, darling, this is all that I can say. I'd rather be alone and have you dream of me only than to have you say you're sorry that we are apart. I'd rather be alone and have you dream of me only than to be in your arms but never in your heart. I tried so hard, my darling, to make you love me then, but you would always leave me here alone. Although I could forgive you, things would be the same, and love could never change your heart of stone. I'd rather be alone, have you dream of me only, than to have you say you're sorry that we are apart. I'd rather be alone and have you dream of me only than to be in your arms but never in your heart. Dream of me only than to have you say you're sorry that we are apart. I'd rather be alone and have you dream of me only than to be in your arms but never in your heart. Than to be in your arms and never in your heart.
So we're going to do one here that I'm not super familiar with. Lisa, tell us something about this song. It's I Know Why.
I Know Why. I believe it was written by Clay Hess, but it was recorded by Kenny and Amanda Smith, and that's how I first learned it was listening to their music.
That's a good place to learn one.
Yeah, it's a great song. It's just got a great story. It's great melody. It's got all the good things going on.
All the good ones.
It's got pretty chords. It's got all the
Right.
all the things you like in a song.
Yep. All right. Well, let's do it. Good when y'all get ready.
I gotta make sure that D string's right here. D. All right, ready?
I know why he carried the cross of Calvary's hill and wore the crown of thorns he wore. And I know why he bled and died upon that rugged cross and bore all the pain that he bore for me, for everyone who's ever drawn a breath of life. He could see me in his mind. He knew he had to die if just for me. I've not been an angel by any means at all. When I needed forgiveness, all I had to do was call on Jesus, my Savior, and He pulled me through. He gave me eternal life and hope, and He'll do the same for you, for everyone who's ever drawn a breath of life. He could see you in His mind. He knew He had to die if just for you, for me, for everyone who's ever drawn a breath of life. He could see you in His mind. And the reason that He died was just for you.
That's such a pretty little song.
We just recorded it. Was it just recorded?
Oh yeah,
It's done.
yeah. I thought it was really good.
Yeah,
Did you mean to do that thing you did at the beginning?
I did.
Okay. It sounded so good, but sometimes on that
It
thing,
don't make sense what
when
I
I'm
do.
playing that, sometimes I accidentally do something that sounds really good.
No.
Especially on that. But most of the time you accidentally do stuff that sounds terrible. But
Well, the story behind that lick is we were doing this together at her house, and we were getting ready to video it, right? And I did that, and I just
yeah,
she smiled, and I said, we're going to do it again. So we practiced it, and we videoed it, and it worked. But there was a time that when I was practicing it, I was too slow.
yeah.
We're getting there.
Yeah,
And she was like waiting. she said, "Are you going to get there now?" And so yeah, we perfected it pretty much.
that's good. I mean, except for
Nobody else does it.
No.
Not until after this video.
Then everybody will be doing it.
But anyway,
That was called I Know Why.
I know why.
So we're going to do one now, another Flatt and Scruggs that's Give Me My Flowers While I'm Living.
Yes.
And where'd you come up with that?
Well, it's a song that I picked up from the Flatt and Scruggs albums, and the meaning actually is what drives me to sing the song. And as to instead of waiting till I'm past and gone to give me my flowers, give them to me now while I'm living.
Right.
And I think it impacts everybody in the world.
I guarantee
think
you.
about it,
Or
yeah.
it will.
Or it will, yeah, eventually. In this world today, while we're living, some folks say the worst of us they can. But when we are dead and in our caskets, they always slip some lilies in your hand. Won't you give me my flowers while I'm living? And let me enjoy them while I can. Please don't wait till I'm ready to be buried, and then slip some lilies in my hand. In this world is where we need the flowers, a kind word to help us get along. If you can't give me flowers while I'm living, then please don't throw them when I'm gone. Won't you give me my flowers while I'm living? And let me enjoy them while I can. Please don't wait till I'm ready to be buried, and then slip some lilies in my hand. Won't you give me my flowers while I'm living, and let me enjoy them while I can. Please don't wait till I'm ready to be buried, and then slip some lilies in my hand.
So, Lisa, you're not only a fantastic musician and a super talented singer, but you're also a teacher, from what I'm told. Tell me something about that.
Well, I went to school for music with my voice, and so I have a music ed degree. And I taught school for years, and then I always taught music on the side. And one day I just said, I could make as much money just doing that with much less stress.
What grade school did you teach?
I taught K through 8.
K through 8.
Yeah.
Where'd you spend most of your time? Just the whole
It's
the whole group?
Yeah. No. You have grades like kindergarten and first grade, second grade.
Where were you at mostly?
Well, it was all day long. You'd have it was split out. Like you might have a kindergarten group for first period, and you might have 8th grade the second period, and you have 5th grade. It was kind of
that's pretty.
You had
neat.
to jump back and forth a lot. I mean, you have a different approach for those grades. Obviously, they're very different.
Well, I'm homeschooled, so you have to understand that I don't know much about any of that. I went to high school though.
Well, that's okay. It's okay.
So from there, you went and just
started teaching, and I started doing it on my own. So I wrote curriculum for an online school for a few years, but now I just teach private lessons. So I have a lot of people online. I have students all over the country. Right. So some are in Washington, some are in North Carolina, Virginia. I have a good bit in there from Texas, Pennsylvania.
So is it mostly like theory? Is it mostly really practical?
It depends on what they want to learn. I mean, if you want to learn, I try to teach everybody the fundamentals, that is helpful to know. Not everybody wants to learn that.
It's definitely helpful.
So,
I wish I had more in that area because I'm totally ear and nothing else. I mean, everything else I learned. I tell people all the time, I invented the Nashville number system because I started writing songs when I was a teenager, and I'd use the capo and learn how to play the guitar, and so I just started, instead of doing chords, I'd start doing the numbers, but I did them backwards.
Okay.
So because I didn't, I don't
you didn't know, yeah.
No, but I had 1 through 7,
But that proves how easy it is. If you understand that, then you can transpose to any key super easy. And for me, like as a music director in a praise band where you've got a clarinet and a saxophone and a trumpet and a piano and a guitar capoed and whatever,
Exactly.
Yeah. Instead of wasting 20 minutes to say, let's start on the A chord, and the piano player or the guitar player, well, I'm playing a G chord. Well, I'm playing it. You can just say, start on the 1 chord, and everybody knows where to start.
Everybody's on the 1.
So I try to teach them all that, whether they want to learn it or not. I sneak it in, but yeah.
Well, give us one tip to start. Like for somebody who's wanting to learn how to play the guitar or learn how to sing, what's your starting? Where do you start with them?
Well, I give them something easy. Something easy that they can play as a song to start with.
So start with a song.
Start with a song where they're playing a song, and they can play it pretty fast and easy. And I think probably one of the things that's most overlooked sometimes is the importance of listening. So especially if you're a guitar player, you're not playing by yourself. Counting is important. I'm not minimizing that. It's fundamentally important. But if you're counting faster than everybody else and you're not listening, it's a problem for beginners. They sometimes struggle with that. So listening and something easy that they can play as a song is 2 of the things I kind of start with. It helps everything down the road.
So, Eddie, you're a world-class dobro player. Do you ever give any lessons?
I have give some, yeah. But I have to say I'm not as patient as Lisa is. Not by no means. So if they don't catch it really quick, I struggle. And so, but yeah, I have taught. And I've been working with a young man now who's really doing really well. Let's put it that way. Yeah. And so, but I don't professionally teach.
You don't?
No.
Well, a lot of dobro is such an ear thing, and I know the music theory would play into it and all that. But if somebody's not committed to listening, especially you're talking about just hearing. But like immersing yourself in the thing you're trying to learn and listening to it and critically listening and figuring out what's going on. Yeah. I think that's if I don't teach either.
Right.
Well, I'm not good enough to teach.
Well, I mean, for me, early on, I found myself being so saturated with notes and then confusion,
Yeah.
and that it took me a while. I had to get over those humps, you know, and I set milestones. So that helped me too. But yeah.
What do you mean by milestones? Like like specific songs, like or licks, or
Actually, technique. Right hand, left hand techniques. Yeah. So
really? So so give me an example.
as far as you're familiar with banjo, right? So forward rolls or backward reverse rolls, and bar techniques like pull offs,
Pull offs,
hammer on. So it's just finding a note, variations in a note, and it becomes sharp and flat, right? Where the perfect note is right there somewhere within a variation of the bar movement,
Right.
and that's about hearing it, you know.
It is because there's no a guitar like me and Lisa have it easy because the fret stops us and makes that note.
And there's no stop with a bar.
Right.
You
and
have
that
to
bar
know
just
it.
keep on going unless you hear it.
Unless you hear it. Yeah. So, and that's a development. And you know, breaking it down, you can take time to develop that in segments. You know. Learning scale
Right.
is okay. It's good to know scale. The ideal is learning the neck, period.
Right.
Once you learn the neck and then finding your way around the neck based on what you hear. So if you hear pretty accurately what a note should sound like, you should be on a note.
Right.
Early on, I would say I had perfect pitch as a young man.
Right.
Today it's less than.
Well, your pitch might be good. Maybe you just don't hear it as
Right.
good. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So I mean that's kind of what led me was hearing,
Yeah.
seeing.
Yeah, me too. Oh, like I say, I know, everything I know is just hearing. And I heard a banjo. I guess cause I didn't have a banjo till I was 37 when I bought one.
Yeah.
And I just had to make that sound. So I went and bought one, and put in tons of hours.
Yeah.
I was playing 7 or 8 hours every day,
Yeah.
just trying to catch up to where I could play with people
Yeah.
as fast as I could.
And there are people out there that learn by structure, and so there are teachers that teach this instrument, and that teach it by note
Really.
and technique. Yeah, they have theory that they use, and so
Well, there's no knock on that here.
not,
I'm jealous.
not so much all by ear, but being able to hear it is important.
Yeah, it is important. And I mean, I guess how you start, the structure of your learning is not as important as the time you put in.
Yep.
As long as there is some structure
Yep.
and you put the time in and are conscientious about what you play and hear.
True. And for me, is early on, I was creating bad habits and then working around them or working out of them to do it right. So, I mean,
I think for everybody though, the secret is to do a combination of private one-on-one structure,
Right.
where you get individual feedback to help you with things you need to learn or
And
you're
habits.
struggling with, but also playing with other people. You can't pass that up. You'll learn more in a jam session than you will in 2 hours of practice one-on-one. So
That's happened
true.
with me.
yeah, you got to do both. I
Yeah.
think combination is secret.
that's right.
So what kind of strings do you play on that old box?
Well, this is Eddie's guitar, so I don't know exactly what guitar strings he uses, but I use elixirs,
You do? Lights, the
like
girly lights.
Yeah,
That's a shame. I like elixirs too.
yeah.
What about you? What kind you?
Although on this particular guitar, I use the GHS. They're cryogenic They're 1600s, and they give me a crisp, warm sound. You know,
That's funny. Cryogenics are a warmer sound.
yeah, that's
Seems like it would be
brighter.
colder.
Yeah, but the string size, you know, makes a difference too.
Yeah.
So
That thing's super warm.
yeah.
Picks, what kind of picks do you use on that thing? So I'm assuming it's similar to banjo picks?
Well, they are, but these are pre-war national picks.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
And you mean
use
they're old or they're modeled after?
they're older. They're originals. So
Really?
they're German silver made picks from that era.
So I couldn't afford them, is what you're saying.
No, you probably could.
I got a loan.
I mean,
Finding them
some
probably.
are expensive, some hard to find.
Yeah.
Some are very rare, and these are not as rare as some that I do have that I don't use so much. But the thumb pick is just a plastic Zuki L10. It's an angled pick. I have less pick noise with it.
Really?
Yeah, and I've been using them for 15 years, I'd say.
And with because I find myself changing a lot. So you've been consistent for playing with that same set
Yeah,
for that long? And you hadn't lost them?
no.
You hadn't loaned any of those to my Uncle Keith?
Yeah, no. Well, you know, losing them, it can happen.
Yeah.
But for me, if I lose them, then I've lost an attachment. So
Yeah.
I tend to hang on to them pretty much.
Did y'all have anything else you just had to do?
I've got one I want to do, and it's one I wrote. Actually, it's instrumental.
Oh.
And there's a story with the song. There's a story with this guitar. Actually, the song was written pretty much about the guitar, and the guitar was actually built for Ivan Guernsey's daughter in 2010, and she passed away. Mr. Ivan was a builder and a player, right? So he kept the guitar, and he performed with it. He also videoed some performances with it, and I saw it, and I said, I sure would like to own that guitar. And so 6 years passed, and he called me right as COVID was hitting, and he said, hey, how about I'll let that guitar go? And I said, you sure? He said, yeah. I said, you okay? He said, yeah, I'm fine. He said, but, he said, if I get this COVID, I'm not going to make it, because he was experiencing COPD.
Right.
And so he said, I'll let it go. So I bought it. And when I got it home, and it was right before I lost my wife. So I started writing this melody. His daughter's middle name or nickname was Jenny. And I said, well, he named the guitar Jenny after her. So I started writing this melody, and I finished it, and I titled it A Tune for Jenny. So it's actually a tune for the guitar.
And that's it.
I never knew his daughter.
Right.
But I recorded it, and I sent it to him. And he called me up, very emotional.
I
about
bet.
it. So it's got some, like I said, it's got some really good, a really good story with it, and it's not a bad song. Not a bad melody, I think. Anyway, it's just something like this.
It's like magic.
That's a good
It's
song.
really good.
All right.
Oh, wait, you wrote that?
I wrote it.
Yeah, but you said you can't say it's a good song if you. I do all the time, but
Oh,
I know what it's like because when you write them, it's like
Sometimes you're like, this is a good song.
This is good.
It's
Like,
ownership.
yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
And I don't have any. We don't have kids, so like I feel probably like people feel about their kids, like because it's out there in the world. It kind of came from you.
Yeah.
It's not you though. Like so, you can really like it. I love those songs. I wrote.
And to me, it's not so much about the song or the melody.
Right.
It's about the story behind it.
Yeah, that too.
To me, that's what makes it a good song.
That adds a
for
lot
me.
to it.
Yeah.
It
And
adds a layer of emotion to it.
it does. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
Well, I hear that y'all have been working on putting together a new band.
We have. We've got some pretty good pickers playing with us. We got Eddie and myself, and then Tony Murphy and John Evers and Tiffany
Turner.
from Arkansas playing banjo.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so, yeah.
She did
She did the banjo workshop.
the workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a good picker.
She's a good
Yeah,
picker.
she's a good
Yeah.
picker.
Well, now I'm jealous. I was hoping y'all were just going to ask me to be in the group, but
Well, we may need you to sit in sometime.
I'll be a big letdown from her.
Yeah. No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, what kind of shows do y'all have anything booked, or y'all looking to book anything?
Well, that's we're looking to book. In fact, we're ready to book now for next year, and that's going forward. So yeah.
Cool. That's super exciting.
Oh yeah, we're excited about it, and considering recording in the future.
Yeah. So y'all are doing right now. I guess y'all are kind of focused on the kind of stuff we played here, which is not necessarily, even though we played some Flat and Scruggs, it doesn't come across as super traditional bluegrass.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what y'all are aimed at?
I think we do traditional music with a little bit of a different.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Twist to
Well,
it.
I mean, when you're singing it,
When I
it all
sing it,
comes
there's no
across
way
as-
I'm going to sound like Lester Flatt. There's
No.
just not going to happen.
You've got a sweet spirit that just comes across in all your music.
That's
so
right.
You can't help it.
She does.
Like me, sort of like me.
Yeah.
So let's do one of those traditional songs that you're going to do real sweet, which is When You're Lonely.
Oh, I'm thinking of you, little darling, on the day that we first met. And those words, sweetheart, that you told me, I'm sure I'll never forget. Oh, someday, sweetheart, when you're lonely and have no one to care for you, remember the heart you have broken and the one that has loved you so true. Oh, you told me that you would always love me, that no one could ever come between. But it seems to me you've forgotten all those things you told to me. Oh, someday, sweetheart, when you're lonely and have no one to care for you, remember the heart you have broken and the one that has loved you so true. Oh, someday, sweetheart, when you're lonely and have no one to care for you, remember the heart you have broken and the one that has loved you so true. Remember the heart you have broken and the one that has loved you so true.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
There's another verse. That's okay.
Yeah.
I
We
couldn't
just
remember
need
the
two.
third verse.
All we need is a two.
The one I know it. Always forget it, and it starts with "I'll forget." I always forget that verse. I was
wanna
like,
go
"Well, I
through it
can't."
again?
No,
I thought it was-
it's good that way. I thought it sounded good. They'll say, "Why didn't you do the third verse?" And we'll just say,
We didn't
Because
have
"I feel like we
time.
needed it."
We didn't have time. We need.
Yeah.
To do
I
it.
forget.
Yeah, that's what I think is so ironic about that. I forget the
Well,
words
that was
of
my
third verse.
fault because actually
You
I
were
brought
learning
you.
the chorus, and I thought it's okay because I can't remember.
It's your fault because you brought her?
I brought her into
You
that
brought her in the chorus.
to the chorus. I've done it before.
I thought you meant brought her over here.
Oh, I've done it before, and she give me them looks and stuff and everything.
It's good for you, though, to get them looks. So that's all of our show today. Thanks to Eddie Ortego and Lisa Abrams for blessing us with their presence and their great music. Where can we find y'all on the internet or on, I don't know where all?
Well, right now we just have Facebook, so
do.
we have Facebook either through Eddie or me, and we have a Timberidge, Lisa K and Timberidge Facebook page.
Cool. So a whole separate page.
Yeah,
Like a band
There's not
page.
much on there yet, but
Yeah.
we're working on that.
So what if I wanted to take a lesson? Where could I?
Oh, you could look me up online. It's easy. Just look up Lisa Abrams or Abrams Music Studio.
Oh, cool. That
Super
sounds
easy.
official.
Yeah, I have a
Does
website
Eddie
and
don't
everything.
have nothing like that?
No,
Man,
he doesn't.
You know,
know.
he'll practice some and maybe he can have his own.
I'm
studio.
gonna have to get better at what I do. I think.
Yeah.
You have to up your game.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah.
Do you only teach guitar or is it voice too?
I teach voice, piano, banjo, guitar.
Really?
Yeah, ukulele, trumpet.
Cool. You teach banjo?
Mm-hmm.
I probably do need to take a lesson. So if y'all enjoyed the show, like this video and subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell. That way, every time we do a video, you'll get a notification on your phone. You won't have to look us up. So we hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And thanks again to Lisa and Eddie for coming. And thank y'all for watching.